We are live. Hello, you guys. Welcome to episode 16. This A Little Sip Happens is about success stories that inspire. So grab your coffee, settle in, because today we're actually letting a few of these voices, our voices, and we have a special guest today, take the spotlight. And it's so we can we could talk about health and wellness products all day long, right? But sometimes the most powerful message really comes from someone who's actually lived it, right? And I know a few of us have lived it. So here are a few stories from people who decided to stop guessing and start taking control of their health. And our special guest today is Miss Brooke Parsons from Canada. And that story of how we met and how we got involved is for another episode. But today, Miss Brooke is going to just share with us a little bit of her story. And when I say a little bit, it's a big story and it's an amazing story. But here's just a little glimpse of what brought her actually here on this journey. Take it away, Brooke.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Hey, Canada's in the house.
All right, awesome. Thanks for the introduction. And yes, I'm over in Canada. I'll just a little bit about myself. So, I'm 35 years old. I have one child. He's 6, and I've been a hairstylist most of my entire life. Fe- I worked for myself as a hairstylist, had my own salon, and was just working away, doing life, and had kids, busy mom life, same old, nothing special. Anyways, I'll try and keep my story really short, but that's kind of the gist of things. I was just going about life, and to be honest, I felt like I was pretty healthy. I never had any major issues with my health ever before, that I knew of. So, anyways, and I've always been an somewhat active, healthy person ish. So I thought. And yeah, so I was just going about life and working. And this was so going back 3 years right now. I was 33. My son was 2 at the time, and I was just working away, and I had some things going on, like just little headaches, a little bit of neck pain. And I thought, okay, like maybe my career at the time doing hair and stuff was finally catching up to me as I was 33. And I'm like, I'd never gone to a chiropractor, never seen, like, so many people in the industry of hairstyling used to say, like, you should really see a chiropractor and all that. And I knew it was hard on my body and stuff. So I finally thought, okay, maybe this is catching up to me. My neck was sore. Our hands are up all day. We're working with our hands all day standing, and it's hard on the body. So anyways, long story short, I started seeing a chiropractor, and a few months later, after going, I still had a few things going on. They were like, well, my headaches and neck pain maybe subsided a little bit. And then I started getting these weird little dizzy spells. And again, I had no idea what they really were at the time. And then because I was going to the chiropractor, I kind of threw it out there and mentioned it to her, and she was kind of like, oh, that kind of sounds concerning. So they were just little, like, felt like my scalp just got like tight, and it felt like my left leg would lock up on me a little bit, like just a tiny little, like, almost dizzy spell. I didn't even know if it was like really happening. It was so weird, right? Like kind of like a chill through your
Yeah.
body. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And I was just going into the grocery store when that happened for the first time. So anyways, a few months later, or a month later, I probably had my second one, and then third one. And the third one was when I had mentioned it to my chiro at the time. So she was like, I think you should tell your doctor. Well, I had been to my doctor in the past, actually just for a general checkup for my son. And I remember telling him about my headaches at the time. And because I was having my headaches like frequently, like daily, and they were just null, like headaches, but I thought the headaches were because my neck was so sore. So, and again, like I'm like maybe my pillow's crappy. I don't know. Like I switched up my pillows and all the things, and so, anyways, this is us just like me thinking all the things. It could be this. It could be that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then so then I was like, oh, my doctor, okay. He kind of just had shrugged me off and kind of said, well, like, you can take Tylenol or whatever. And I was like, Tylenol, like, every day to just take Tylenol. Like, okay. So, anyways, I decided to make an appointment. She seemed pretty concerned about these spells. She told me that it could possibly be a TIA. So I was like, TIA. I went home, started Googling because I didn't even know what that meant. And I'm like, mini transient stroke. I'm like, and even myself, I'm like, a stroke? I don't think I'm having a stroke, but all the side effects and symptoms kind of felt like everything that I had going on. And so I was like, that's weird. Okay. So, anyways, sure enough, my doctor's appointment came along, told him what I was dealing with and that I had told my chiro this and she had mentioned to book an appointment. She didn't want to step on any toes or throw anything out there or get anyone concerned, but she thought it could possibly be maybe TIA. And he was like, like, yeah, right. Like you're way too young. You're way too young to have a stroke. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just kind of telling you what I'm, dealing with. And again, it didn't seem like a concern. He's like, I can get you in for a scan, but like you're probably not even going to get one for like maybe 6 to 8 months because our MRI machine in my local town was down. So they were doing MRIs out of the parking lot at the time. So I was like, okay, well, if you're not concerned about it, like, I mean, in my own head too, I didn't even think like, if it was a concern, I could go anywhere within an hour to get an MRI,
Right.
From here, it didn't have to be that hospital. So, about a week after I'd gone to that appointment and there was no concern on his end really, so I left and I ended up having another one. And I was just milling in my kitchen, doing something, turned too quick. Next thing you know, ankle, like rolled over on my ankle. Thought I busted my ankle. I was like, oh my God, like this foot, because every time I had one of those dizzy spells and I said my leg would lock up, it seemed like every time it just took a little bit longer to get the feeling back in my leg. And so I started thinking, okay, maybe I hurt my back at the gym because I did doing a lift when I was going to CrossFit. And so I was like, maybe I have like a pinched nerve or something going on in my leg. Like, God, what the heck is going on? So anyways, I turned quick, rolled my ankle in the kitchen, and I was like, oh no, like, man, that really hurt. And then like the next day, I ended up stubbing my toe on the ottoman, and I was like, that's it. There's something seriously wrong with this leg. Like I can't take it anymore. It's so annoying, right? And it was bothering me doing stuff in the gym and certain things. It just felt like it was getting weak. So I called my mom and I just said, "Hey, mom, like we gotta go. Like I just stubbed my toe off the ottoman, and I swear to God, like I broke my toe. It pissed me off." so, um, so anyways, and again, I had my son home, and I'm like, last thing I want to do is go sit in the hospital for 5-6 hours in a waiting room, the emergency waiting room. But I did. I took myself in, and mom said, "I'll meet you there, and I'll take Bryson to the park. You get checked out and see what's going on with your leg." So I went in and I basically just like made it sound terrible because I just felt like if I don't, like, I'm not going to get any help. So I went in and I basically said, like, I don't know what's going on. I keep having these dizzy spells. I think I'm having a stroke. And as soon as I kind of said that word and my leg keeps locking up on me, I think I broke my ankle. Now I've like broke my toe. They were like, oh, okay, like we'll get you checked out. We'll maybe get you a CT today. So I was like, sounds good. Sat in the waiting room. I was in within 20 minutes and then like instantly was called into a room. So that's kind of when I knew, because you don't get called back into the room if something's not, wrong. So I got called into the room, and then that was when they said to me, they're like, we just got off a call with a surgeon down in Kingston General Hospital, like, we have you booked for emergency brain surgery. You have a massive brain tumor. Like, we don't even know how you are like alive right now. Like, it was 6.5 by 6.5 centimeters, and it was like a large orange, and it was on my motor cortex, which is exactly why I was dealing with like some loss of motor skills and stuff. And it wasn't TIAs, it was actually mini transient, like, or they were not mini transient, they were mini acute seizures that I was having from the pressure of it on my brain. So, I basically was like sitting there in awe. Like, I'm pretty sure he talked for like 20 minutes. And I remember him being like, "Is there anyone you would like to call right now?" I was like, yeah, can I call my mom? Like, can I call my mom? So anyways, yeah, I was in shock. Like, it was totally not what I ever expected in my life, to be told that. And I think that, I mean, I didn't think I had anything going on in my head, it was in other areas of my body that were, things were happening. So it was a huge shock at that moment. I remember calling my mom. She picked me up, and she just said, "Is everything good?" And I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to you when you get here.
Right.
And then, yeah, and then we got in the car, and she was like, "What's going on? Like, is it a pinched nerve?" And I remember like not even being able to say the word. I just sat there for a second, and she looked at me, and she knew. I was like, I said, apparently, like, you know, and I was like, "I have a brain tumor." And my mom just like the look on her face, and like
Uh-huh.
we both just instantly started bawling.
I can
So
imagine.
With you telling the story, I'm just cutting in for 2 seconds. When you are saying like, "Oh, it must be my pillow," or "Oh, it's from me standing," I think we all do that, and I
Yeah.
think
Of course.
society does that too, right? You just keep brushing little things off, like, "Oh, I didn't
Mhm.
sleep good," or "Oh, this," or "Oh, that," but
well,
no,
exactly. And I remember sitting in the room, and he was like, "Did you have like, headaches, neck pain, urinary issues, like frequent urination?" And he was like listing off all this stuff, and I was like, "Yeah. Yeah, but like, and then but people tell you all these things, like you have a baby and your bladder shot now." And so I'm like, "Well, I had a kid 2 years ago." So I'm like, I'm like, I only had one child. I wonder what people do when they have three. Like, I'm already like having to go to the bathroom all the time. But so we just chalk things up all the time to like other things, and we get good at brushing the little things off, I think. And that's exactly what I did. So
your journey is amazing.
yeah. So then, yeah, long story short, that kind of like led me into, I had 4 days. They basically said 4 days you're in for surgery. So I didn't have a lot of time to really process anything. I remember just coming home and like going like, holy shit, like I have to cancel all my clients for the next couple months, and texting all my clients a text message to basically say like, "Hey, I just found out I had a brain tumor, and I have no idea if I'll ever even be back in 4 days." Like,
Right.
I'll let you know what happens with my life. So yeah, it was a lot. I think in those 4 days, it was just kind of like, I don't know, I was numb. I had zero emotion. The only time that I cried basically was the time that I told my mom that split second. And I think I had like family and friends even say like, "Is she okay?" Like, she hasn't cried or anything. I just went straight into
Yep.
like
It's
That's
fight or
what-
flight. So you fight,
Oh.
you just have to go. Yeah.
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 It's definitely a fight or flight kind of response. And
Yeah.
yeah, just completely numb. And I was that way looking back. Like, I was that way, like, even kind of like 6 months after like my recovery and stuff. So obviously my surgeon and my surgery was really successful. I was alive and I woke up, and it was very severe. Like, it could have been very severe. So when I woke up, I was happy to be alive. And then I went into, just the typical recovery. I had to learn how to walk again, everything. My whole left side needed to be like rehabilitated. I had a walker for quite some time, and then I graduated from that to a cane, and now I'm walking fully by myself. I still dealing with a lot of like left side weakness and stuff, and no, almost like very minimal feeling to my left foot. So I knew kind of like being that hairdressing was really hard on my body to begin with. I the likelihood of me wanting to stand on my feet all day long and using my arms and stuff was kind of probably not in the cards for me anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
it's
I think
just,
that's why you're so passionate about like testing and our scanner, right? And helping people now. And I think for all of us, right, we can all say, like, I know the scanner doesn't diagnose or anything, but man, if you can take care of yourself before little things start to happen, right? Like
100%.
we're all so passionate about this health journey and what it can do for people.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it, literally just like that's what set me. So I went straight into my recovery. I was put on multiple medications, seizure medications that I was told that I would never be off. Basically on them for the rest of my life, this and that. And like I don't know, that just didn't sit well for me. I don't know. I hate taking pills. I don't want to be on prescription meds the whole rest of my life. So I knew like right then and there, I'm like, I gotta get off this shit. I was on it. Sorry for but I felt like crap. I was so exhausted to the point where like I literally couldn't even get my head off the pillow. I was gaining weight like rapidly. Meanwhile, like I was, obviously eating healthy. And again, when I got to a point in my recovery where I could, start to be slowly active again, but still I just kept gaining weight. And that's kind of what led me here. I remember coming across, I was struggling with my weight, super frustrated, trying to get off all these prescription meds. And then I came across this company and I was like, oh my God, when I seen what they had, I was just instantly sold because they had the scanner that was going to scan 45 of my vital organs and kind of just because every time I went to my doctors, got my blood taken, and I said like, this is how I'm feeling, and like I'm like, they were like, oh, your blood work's fine. No, you're good. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm not good. I don't feel good. Like, so there's just nothing you can do. Oh, well, you could probably take another prescription med, or here's a depressant, or here's a whatever, right? So I was kind of sick and tired of going to the doctor. So I seen this scanner and I was like, okay, you can scan, it's non-invasive, scan the body. Just give me some insight on what I guess and where I can start. And that was kind of when I started my journey a year and almost a half ago now with this company. And I was like, I scanned, I had severe fatty liver. So I'm like, no one's ever told me that before. So I that's where I started. I just started focusing on my liver health and started detoxing my body. And I'm telling you, it's changed my life. And like 50 pounds later, a year and a half has gone by and I'm 50 pounds down. So that feels really, really good. And yeah, like for detox, like that's the one thing, because like the whole year prior to finding that, I was taking good supplements. I was taking the best of the best supplements. So I thought like clean, and like I'm still struggling. So I was like, man, like what else can a person do? I was taking good supplements, working out and eating healthy. Then what's going on? And detox was the only thing in my life really that I had never tried yet. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll start with that. It was kind of like the one step I skipped over. I started taking supplements and was trying to basically like feel better, have more energy, all the things. So I started taking things for that instead of going back and thinking like, oh, you've been on like multiple prescription meds, you've been through hell, and you probably need to detox your organs. And like, because all those prescription meds, like those things clog up our organs, and get that out of the way and get our like liver and our things, like our organs filtering properly again, and then like add the good things in. So like that's really where I honestly started noticing change with my body for the first time. And
Your
I
story is inspiring. It really is. It's
Yeah.
inspiring.
It's so amazing. And you know what? We say it every day. And even prior, I had never done a detox either and thought I was doing all the right things. How many times do we talk to other people or put social media out going, you're doing the right things. You've done this, this, and this. It's all what you're supposed to do, but things aren't moving. That, you know,
Yeah.
the needle isn't moving. And
yeah,
the
like, and I've
skin
seen
is
like
huge.
detox juices and stuff like that. And I
Oh,
I
Lord,
can
they're
honestly
out
say
there.
like I've heard of stuff like that where like, or yeah, you're not eating, or you're detoxing your body, or you're on this juice for 7 days. And I think maybe some people think that detoxing is that, because that's what
Right.
I thought. But no,
I
like this
agree.
was just
So, yeah,
this
the word
something you
detox
can
is scary. Yeah.
something you
Yeah.
can keep your normal life going, but like help your body filter out the things. Because like I didn't realize either, like our food is not the same as it was 10 years ago, and like there's barely any nutrients in it, and like that we need to supplement our bodies, and like we're just lacking so much there. So it's been a huge learning curve for me.
I think for most,
Yeah.
you know,
All of
for
it.
most
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and where we're really in a unique position right now, again, I'm going to go back to the scanner because, again, we don't know what would have happened had you had the scanner back then, right? But one thing we do know is that the scanner can show us things that we're not necessarily aware of within our own body. It can show us when things are getting, you know, unhealthy, when things are getting dangerous, when, again, like showing a severe fatty liver, like when you can see that ahead of time. And I think you said, look, like, and I know Katrina too had fatty liver.
Yeah, I was in the red.
Reverse that and we change that in 3 months it's incredible.
Yeah.
Without medication, like you have
Without
to,
medication.
right.
Yeah, and for me, like it wasn't overnight either. It's something that I've stuck to, and I've like cycled this entire year and 4 months on and off. Just like I did a good, like I would say 3-4 months straight of heavily detoxing. And like I'm obviously not the average person. I was dealing with a lot of health stuff, but I have focused on detoxing my body for the last year, and just consistently seeing, you know, my scan go from the red to like, you know, the yellow, and now be in the green is like it's a great feeling. So and it's nice that we can rescan too, right? Because our bodies are we're always changing, and hormones and all of the things, so we can kind of have this tool to stay on track. But yeah, when I seen it, I was like, man, this is exciting. I got to tell like all my friends, because like so many people are wondering and struggling with their health and can't figure out what's going on, right? So it can be a frustrating journey. Even if you're not dealing with all the things that I was, even if you're just trying to, you know, stay healthy, lose a little weight, feel better. A lot of people struggle just with that alone. So it's like, you know, I'm like, try a detox. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, not
Absolutely.
everyone's like, what's a detox?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked about that a little bit, because I do get a lot of people like, you know, saying things to me, reaching out to me. They don't like that word detox. They're like, you have organs to detox. Like you don't need a detox. But maybe we got to figure out a different word to use, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're not taught it.
Yeah, a lot of people say you don't need a detox, but in the ideal world where the water's good, the food is good, and you're getting everything you need, your body would be fine. But we know we're not living in that world right now, so you have to support your body and close those gaps. Yeah.
I think that's the word too, right? We're supporting our liver. We're supporting all the organs that detox for us, but we're supporting it to help it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like my key thing is it's not about another supplement. It's about helping your body function the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
it's so important. And Brooke, your story is amazing. And I
Yeah.
think what would be awesome in the comments below, Brooke, if you would put some before and after pictures so people can see where you were and where you are now, because you look beautiful. We've seen you in person at all our events, and we know that you're vibrant and bubbly and fun and all the things, you know, but everybody else doesn't know. And you have an incredible story. And I'm just so grateful that you paid attention and said, this is enough, because that's what it
Yeah,
takes.
well, when I
to
started
say no.
creeping up to a weight where I was near full pregnancy, and it just doesn't feel good. And I think the brain fog and the things that you have, you don't even really realize that you have them, because that just kind of becomes the new normal, which is weird. But I look back and I'm like, man, I was exhausted. Like, even yesterday I was watering the flowers and I'm like, I used to not really even have the energy for this, like all the little things. And I'm like, but that just becomes the new normal. And then when you finally like or have 50 pounds off your body, I'm like, oh my God, how could I could never go back to that. Like,
No.
it sucked. It felt awful. And I'm like, and I thought that was normal. I look back
Yeah.
at pictures of myself and I'm like, oh my God, I look so inflamed, like huge. And yeah, I never want to go back to that. So
Isn't it funny? Isn't there some kind of quote out there that's like, yeah, I feel good. Well, what if you can feel better? Like, you don't realize, like, okay,
Yeah.
like you said, oh, this is just how I'm supposed to feel, right? I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired. I have kids. I'm this, I'm that, But yet, when you really start feeling good, you're like, oh my gosh. Like,
yeah,
I
what
thought
if you can feel great though?
Yeah, and half
Yeah.
the people don't realize it. Even the executives that are an A personality, they think they are dialed in and they got it going, but they have no clue until they feel better, and they're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we're going to have you on a few times, Brooke, because we totally enjoyed sitting here and listening to you. And I know everybody chiming in and watching this on a replay will probably be, as intrigued as we were. And, we always tell everybody, if you have questions or comments or you want to learn more, please just reach out to us. We're all here. We all love what we do. Clearly, we're all very passionate. And we're
And just to add into to obviously my recovery the last year and 4 months quickly is like, I was able to get off every single medication that I've been on, including my seizure medications. And like the products here are absolutely incredible. Like, yeah, it's being medication free and just feeling absolutely amazing is where it's at. So yeah,
absolutely. I'm right there with you, Brooke, but we have to, it's like, we're not going out there saying that we can cure, mitigate, take everything away, but we both.
No, but it worked for me.
And it worked for me. We're both like, we have stories. So there are things that can help support you in so many different ways. So just pay attention to your body, pay attention to what's going on, and don't be afraid to ask questions or say, no, this isn't okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
And take control of yourself. And life is amazing if you do that.
Yeah.
Great.
So reach out to any one of us, wherever you see this. We're happy to help guide you and support you and share our stories as well. But we'd love to have you join us on this journey. For anyone who is listening and who is here, whoever you are seeing this, wherever you're seeing it on, make sure you reach out to them. And Brooke, thank you so much for your time today. Everyone,
We appreciate it. Thank you.
all right.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Brooke.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Brooke.